So, Abby, we've done a blog previously on whether prenups are legally binding. And obviously, we know that there are certain conditions that have to be met in order to make a prenup effective. But do you ever have conversations with your client as to what actually goes in a prenup?
Yeah, so some clients come in with a very clear idea of what they want and what a prenup is. And in those cases, it's about just kind of finalizing an agreement that they've already reached. Other people come in with this notion of a prenup that they've seen on TV, heard about in the media, see all these headlines of, kept out of this money because of affairs or things like that. And in other countries, they do have what we would call a morality clause in a prenup. So if somebody has an affair after this many years, then they only get this amount from the marriage. We don't have them here. So often that kind of drama that comes with those ideas and trying to pinpoint what exact behavior is going to cause them to lose that 1,000, 10,000 pounds, whatever it might be, that's not part of our role other than demystifying that for clients, really. I mean, you do get some people who want to come in and completely take everything off the table. And then it's about explaining to them that a prenup isn't about ring fencing everything. It still has to be fair. Like you said, it has to pass the guidance that we've got for able to have that weight within the court process if it gets contested. And it's about clients kind of understanding that a prenup can be really valuable to them. But, I've had people come in who are very wealthy, they're looking to get married, they're asking about a prenup. And, the first piece of advice I give them is, why get married? If you don't get married, you're not opening yourself up to these. And, some clients have taken that on board and run with it. But for those that do want to get married for all various reasons, they can be such a good wealth protection tool if done in the right way, but they can't have half the stuff in that people might think.
I mean, what's the oddest thing that anyone's ever asked you to put in a prenup?
I think when people have looked at who does the cleaning on which day and to what standard, and, if making sure that this room is done here and this room is done there, dividing up all domestic duties in a way that then becomes a bit like a TV family with a script of, so and so enters the room and then turns left and picks up the Hoover. And I think it's that sort of thing which you, you just have to look at it, take on board, and then let them know what the court can and can't do.
Yeah, I mean, I've had some odd requests as well. People trying to preserve old DVD collections where I've thought, well, I'm not sure the other person would want your Manchester City 1990 VHS, but okay, if that's what, but it can, I think, seriously though, there can be misconceptions about what it is for, but I think, as we've said, it's about giving that advice from the very beginning and making sure that we're both working on the same hymn sheet.
And that's it. And it's working with our client, but with the other party involved. So, our role in a prenup is to help everyone get married if that's what they want to do. So it's that collaborative approach with the person that, they're going to be marrying, their legal representatives, having the phone calls around different aspects and what's important and how can we agree on this. And people can think of lawyers, sitting behind a desk and shouting at each other like you see on all those TV courtroom dramas. And the reality is it's not. A prenup can be a very pleasant and a very relaxing experience if everybody is informed going into it with the right ideas and people are willing to work at it and not in super tight timescales, 1 week before the wedding.
Yeah, I mean, I actually had a lady come to see me wanting a prenup, and it was midweek, and I asked her when she was getting married, and she said Saturday.
Yeah. And I'm sure you did it.
I mean, timing is of the essence, really, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's a bit like the three bears and porridge. You've got to have that timing and that sweet spot. You don't want it done too early that you think, well, that's not close enough to the marriage to be relevant anymore. And you can't have it too close because then there's those possible arguments that somebody's been put under pressure. So you're looking for that sweet spot, the best porridge.
Thanks, Harry. That's really helpful.